Hello everybody. Today we're going to work on Unit 6, Day 4 notes, which is called Dilations, Similar Figures, Area, and Perimeter. So first let's remember some things. When you dilate a shape, the image moves away or towards the center of dilation. So as a result, when the shape moves away, it is getting larger, or if it moves towards the center, it's getting smaller. So there is certain notation for dilations that we haven't used yet. So capital D stands for dilation. The first subscript is your scale factor, so there's a scale factor of 3, and the second subscript is the center of dilation, so it's point A. Now another way a dilation could be represented is by this form right here, where this is saying you take the point xy and its image is going to be 3x, 3y, which is telling you each point of the preimage gets multiplied by the scale factor. And I'm using that scale factor of 3. All right, so remember, when you are identifying a dilation, there's really 3 things you need to say. You have to say it's a dilation, you have to name the center of dilation, and you have to name the scale factor. You will not receive full credit unless you've said all of these 3 things. So that's very important. So let's take our highlighters and let's highlight that. So anytime you see a dilation, you have to say the word dilation, you have to name the center of dilation, and you have to give the scale factor. And remember, dilations are not rigid motions. They do not keep the same size and shape. So it's very easy to recognize a dilation because the size of the shape has changed. So that's really important. So let's highlight that also. So when a dilation occurs, similar figures are produced. The rest of this unit, we're going to be talking about similar figures. So this is very important because we're going to have 3 or 4 more days notes just about similar figures. So similar figures have corresponding side lengths that are in proportion, meaning they were all multiplied by the same scale factor. We've been talking about that with dilations. Corresponding sides are proportional and corresponding angles are congruent. So that's what we've been talking about with dilations. So they're making similar figures, so the same thing happens there. There is a symbol for the word similar. So it's right here. It's really the top of the congruent sign. So you're going to say triangle ABC is similar to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So this is a new symbol. You need to know it. It's a squiggle. So we're going to be using that a lot. So make sure you recognize that. So here's a picture of a dilation. Here's our center O. The image is getting bigger. It's moving farther away. Here's all your scale factors. You have image over pre-image length. So they are all equal to each other. They're all proportional. And also all your corresponding angles are congruent. So this information is all very important. So let's highlight that. And then we're going to flip the page. So, similar figures have the same shape, but different sizes. All right, and as a result, corresponding angles are congruent and corresponding sides are in the same proportion. So, very important, similar figures, same shape, different size. But as a result, always corresponding angles are congruent. You never multiply angle measures by the scale factor. Corresponding sides are in proportion. You take the pre-image length and you're going to multiply it by the scale factor. All right, so let's talk about now area and perimeter of similar shapes. So on your Chromebook, there is a link. So if I go to the classroom page, So here's my classroom page, and I go to the third post. There's now a new link I added on, perimeter and areas of similar figures. So let's open up that. All right, so here's what we have now. It's another GeoGebra. So if you notice, I have a square, and then I have a bigger square. So square EFGH is my pre-image, and then square ABCD is the image. So if I take the image's length over the pre-image, I currently have a scale factor of 2. So this program was set up where it found the perimeter. So remember, perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the sides of the shape. And so if we compare the perimeter of the image, which is rectangle ABCD, compared to the perimeter of the pre-image, it is also equal to 2. Do you notice anything? Scale factor, the ratio of the perimeters is in the same scale factor. But now when you talk about area, area is the amount of square units inside a shape. So this has a much bigger area. You can, in fact, fit this rectangle in here 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not perfect because it's tilted a little bit, but you can fit it in 4 times. So there's a relationship here between your scale factor and how many times bigger the perimeter is. The perimeter is going to be the same scale factor times bigger. But the area turns out to actually be the scale factor squared times bigger. Now I'm going to prove this to you by changing this scale factor to be 3. So if I change this to 3, the perimeter still will be multiplied by 3, but the area is going to be multiplied by 3 squared, which is 9. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to manipulate the size of this shape until I get it perfectly. I'm trying to get the numbers to work out. Remember, a bit of rounding issues. I'm trying to get the area to turn out to be exactly 9. I got it, and then it goes away. Oh, I almost had it. Well, anyways, so if your scale factor is 3, this perimeter, the image's perimeter, is 3 times bigger than the pre-image's perimeter. And the image's area is 3 squared times bigger. So if I change this to 4, if I make this 4 times as big, and again, oh, I got it perfect right there. So if it's 4 times as big, the perimeter of the image is 4 times bigger than the perimeter of the pre-image, but the area is 4 squared times bigger. What if I change this to 5? What's going to happen? If I make it 5 times bigger, again, I'm trying to get the numbers. There's a little bit of rounding. I'm trying to get it to be perfect. There we go. Oh, what is that? So the scale factor is 5 times bigger. So if you compare the perimeter of the pre-image to the perimeter of the image, the perimeter of the image is 5 times bigger, but its area is 25 times bigger. You can now fit 25 of these in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, and 5 going up. So that's the relationship I'm trying to demonstrate to you. So if we now go back to the notes, so area and perimeter of similar shapes. So I'm going to demonstrate it here again. All right, so it says find the scale factor. So if we look at this, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime is the image. So I'm highlighting that one so it stands out. It got bigger. This side length right now is 2, and the side length of the image is 6. So scale factor is your image's length divided by a pre-image. So the scale factor is 3. If we found the perimeter of our pre-image, each side is 2, so it's 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. The perimeter is 8. If you found the perimeter of the image, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 24. Notice, if you take this, you take the perimeter of your pre-image and you multiply that by your scale factor, it is going to equal the perimeter of the image. If you do area of a square is side times side, so 2 times 2 is 4, is the area of the pre-image. The area of the image is 6 times 6, which is 36. So, if you were to take the area of your pre-image and multiply it by 3 squared, which is 9, 4 times 9 is 36. So the perimeter of the image is 3 times the perimeter of your pre-image, but the area is 3 squared times as big. So I'm trying to get you to remember this rule. So the perimeter of the image is going to equal the scale factor times the perimeter of the pre-image. So I'm trying to use P for perimeter. So P prime is the perimeter of the image, is your scale factor, which is K, times the perimeter of your pre-image. A prime is your area of the image. It's K squared. The scale factor squared times as big. So you need to memorize these. All right, so highlight those. So let's check out problem 1. Describe the transformation. Well, the size changed, so we know it's a dilation. That is not enough. You need to identify the center. So I know point A is mapping onto point D. So if I connect point A and D, and then I know point B is going to be connected to point E. You connect a pre-image to an image and you can find your center. They intersect at the origin. So if I connect F to C, same thing. So the center of dilation is the origin point 0, 0. Now you still need to give the scale factor. So DEF is our image. We're starting with ABC is the pre-image. Triangle DEF is the image. So DEF, I just want to highlight that so my brain can see which one it is. So it got bigger. The scale factor is greater than 1. So if I take the length of an image, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Compared to a corresponding side, 1, 2, 3, 4, I know my scale factor is images length, which is 10, over pre-images, which is 4, and that divides to 2.5. It should look like it got 2.5 times bigger. All right, next one. A triangle is dilated by a scale factor of 3 with the center of dilation at the origin. Which statement is true? The area of the image is 9 times the area of the original triangle. That is true because for area you have to take and square your scale factor. That one is true. The perimeter is 9 times. No, the perimeter is only going to be 3 times. The same as the scale factor. The slope of any side of the image is 3 times the slope. No, we never multiply slopes. The measure of each angle is 3 times the measure of the angle. No, you never multiply angle measures. All right, last one. Which transformation would result in the perimeter of a triangle being different from the perimeter of its image? So if the perimeter is different, a dilation had to occur. Now these are all looking really weird. We didn't really even talk about most of these, but I'm hoping now you recognize which one's a dilation. A dilation is when you multiply by the scale factor. The only thing that's showing multiplication is right here. So I would like you guys to finish the rest of these. The answers are on the classroom page, so do all of the rest of the problems and check your answers and have a great day. Bye!